no. Come on, where is it?
Dave, it's your Idaho Central app here. Any chance you're missing a debit card? Let's get that taken care of for you. With ICCU's card control, you can turn any card off with the tap of your finger.
You got it.
And back on again. Out, 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 out. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
It's the fall kickoff sale at Lithia Ford of Boise. We're going all the way so you can score more for your trade-in and trade up to a new Ford truck or SUV today. Visit Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
It's time for the Postgame Show from Bronco Nation News. We're breaking down the game with highlights, interviews, analysis, and most importantly, you. Give your thoughts on the game in the YouTube chat or Facebook comments, and we'll include the best ones on the show. All Bronco Nation news broadcasts come from the Western Collective Studios. Head down to Western Collective's locations in Garden City or downtown Boise to try some of their delicious beers, including the Horseshoe Golden Ale, the first beer to support an NIL collective. Now let's head out and join BJ Rains for the Postgame Show from Bronco Nation News.
Well, Ashton Jeanty didn't wait very long. First play of the game, 63 yards, and Boise State takes an early lead and keeps that lead. Another big game from Ashton Jeanty.
I would like to give a shout out to one of your supporters.
Okay.
Jim Sturt called it, right?
He did.
Yeah, he said
First play.
Lithia Ford. Hand it to two, gone. There he goes. Hand it to two, gone.
Well, that was, right off the bat, he got started. He didn't slow down. This is the Idaho Central Credit Union post-game show. We appreciate you guys. We got Kent Riddle. We got Brad Bedell. My name's BJ Rains, and we got, about an hour to take your comments, your thoughts. We'll show some highlights. And
this should be a lot shorter than
a lot
an
to
hour.
talk about.
Like,
I'm sure they'll find something to complain about for this one.
We said they're going to beat them bad. They did.
Yeah.
And they looked really good doing it. And, yeah, I'm sure there's issues.
Hey, can I start
whatever.
with something?
Yeah, Rid, scoot that way a little bit. So you're too close to us.
Can I start with something?
Yeah.
I like Brad.
Okay. All right. That's fine. Go ahead. Floor is yours.
Can I thank the Boise and all the other fire departments and somebody who lives in the southeast section of town for what they did to Harris North and save those houses in that fire? I just wanted to, for all of us, and I know you're connected with it too.
Yep.
Guys, I can't thank you guys enough for what you've done the past 48 hours to save a neighborhood. They're still fighting it. And I want to thank you for that. But for what you guys did, the work you guys put in to save neighborhoods.
We got a couple of Boise guys on that. Matt Pistone, Garrett Larson, Chaz.
Those guys.
Chaz Anderson.
Yeah. I just want to thank. I want to thank you guys. I want to thank you guys for doing that. And that means the world to us. And I wanted to say that before we go.
That was scary stuff. No doubt. It was scary stuff. So thanks to all of them. Shout out Horseshoe Golden Ale. We are enjoying a Horseshoe Golden Ale, our studio sponsor tonight. Hope you're enjoying one as well. After Boise State wins this one tonight, 62-30. We mentioned Ashton Jeanty. First play of the game gets going. Has another 75-yard touchdown run already already 7 touchdown runs of at least 50 yards this season for Ashton Jeanty. He got over 1,000 yards, and then they took him out at halftime, which I know some fans would have liked to have seen either maybe 1-2 drives, a little bit more, get him over 200, but 3 touchdowns, 186 yards. He's over 1,000. He's now up to 16 touchdowns in I want to say 5 games, but really it's 4 games. He's had 2 halves where he didn't play at all.
Yeah, well, shout out to Vegas because I believe the over
191.
Oh, the last one I saw was 186 and a half.
Oh my gosh,
that's a bad beat.
Oh my gosh,
that's a bad beat.
But from now on, you got to think about maybe if they're 4 touchdown favorites, he ain't going to play in the second half. That might put some consideration into that, but. Unbelievable.
I would stay away from betting that.
No, you're probably
matter
smart.
What, because the guy is going to do ridiculous things on limited carries, and you just never know how much time he's going to.
And I'm not playing him the second half. I'm not. And I know we'll get into that later.
Yeah. We'll start with some of the more positive stuff tonight, but I do want to know your guys' thoughts and the fans' thoughts on that. Sure. But Boise State, 599 yards of offense. I'm guessing we're not going to get too much of the Madsen haters in there tonight.
Somebody will.
I told Rid, we were sitting there watching the game, and I said, I'm coming out hot after this post game. For anybody who's now like the midget and yada, 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 stop.
Can't see over the line, man.
Stop.
21 of 25, 256 yards, 3 touchdowns. They actually had to bring him back in the game. Malachi Nelson had the pick, I think had a sack, and they got down there after a turnover like within the 20, and they brought a lot of the starting offense back into the game, including Madsen there after they had already gone to the bench.
I assume they were just like, hey, we're going to finish this thing outright.
Right.
Sometimes that happens as coaches, right? You're like, This is not going good. We're just not going to finish on this note. And everybody on the sidelines like,
see, dude. We're not. Yeah, I hear you. And with that, so let's talk about. All right,
the guy's been phenomenal.
The first series, 1 play touchdown. The second series is when Maddox got hit, and then the officials stopped time.
Yep.
And pulled him off the field on 3rd down to check for a concussion. Malachi comes in. They took the sack, which it was covered. He, better taking a sack in that situation than throwing the ball up and getting a turnover, right? We agree with that.
Yeah.
And then, so that was 1, 2, 3. And then the third series, Maddox comes out and he just starts drilling them. Gone. Boom, 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 touchdown.
And
he made some great
the tight end screens and some of that,
play calls, great stuff, but he was accurate when he had to be accurate, threw on the run well, and there's going to be a lot of people saying I'm a homer or whatever. I don't care. He's the best quarterback right now for Boise State to win out.
I hate to say it I'm not trying to speak negatively towards Malachi Nelson, but you also saw some of the reasons in this game why maybe he's not playing. He had a sack. He had the pick. There was times where maybe, it's not like he came in and lit it up when he was in there either.
True, but hard to judge him off of this one game because anxiety's up. Your heart rate's beating.
It's hard. I hear
all that stuff. He needs to have the opportunity to settle down and play. And when that opportunity happens, he'll be fine.
He'll be dominant.
But right now, Malachi's just a little bit behind Maddox.
Well, it's the same thing with a quarterback or the quarterback. If you want to look at the stats, can be skewed, right? So passing stats for Utah State, they went over 300,
372.
So 372. What I want to know is, and I don't have,
which that was one of the negatives I was going to bring up at some point here.
Okay,
yeah,
but hold on now. That's not fair to call pass defense how much is that when they're up by 30?
They had 222, I think, in the first half. So it was about 50-50.
Yeah, I'd like to go on the record and say that I said they're going to have some plays.
Yeah.
They do a good job on offense.
No, I just went. That is one. If you were looking to be nitpicky, whatever. Like they came into the game 109th in pass defense. Like the passing defense has not been great this year, and that is one stat yet again that struggled a little bit. You're not worried about it?
Inclined to be nitpicky on that and let those guys worry about what they think was an actual issue and fix it.
Dude, I want to shout out Jay Royals. That guy's a straight baller.
He'll be doing that on Sundays next year.
For Utah State. Like Rid and I talked about, and we've talked to some other people within college football that we know. He's really on the same path in the same sense as Jeanty when it comes to NIL to transfer. He got hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Oh, BJ's excited.
We just retook the lead with 2 minutes left. No, we have plenty of time to lose 31-30 still, but we just retook the lead with 2 minutes left. This would be the 5th game in a row, our 5 losses where we led in the 4th quarter and then lost. So that's what will happen, I'm sure. But someone said Minnesota just pulled off the upset too. I don't know who they were playing today.
SC.
Okay, Minnesota beats
USC.
Yeah,
well, they lose. There you go.
Yeah, so that kid's a really good football player, and he came out the blocks hot, and he played a great game. UW beat Michigan. Hey, sorry, you guys can take all that, and I'm not going to be cursing a lot tonight, but Vanderbilt beat Alabama.
Yeah. They're worse.
Hey, all you need to know, all you want to know when all hell's going to break loose is everybody going like, yeah, it's an average college football schedule.
And you know what? On game day this morning, I forget who it was, but somebody said this feels like one of those weeks where somebody's going down that you don't expect because it doesn't look like there were a lot of big spreads and a lot of big numbers. And sure enough, we'll get to the scoreboard and stuff here in a little bit. But 9 different receivers did have
the scoreboard anytime.
That's all right. 9 different.
Boise State whooped their ass and it's over.
All right. Well, in that case, have a good night, everybody. We'll no, not quite yet, but Cam Camper again, 5 catches, 59 yards, and a touchdown. Chase Penry had 4 catches for 74 yards. Prince Strawn, nice to see him get going. 4 catches for 58 yards.
And then Austin Bolt,
2 touchdowns.
Austin,
let's go.
Stealing from Jeanty there at the goal line. Come on.
Well,
hey. They got in the end zone, didn't they?
Good for him, though. 4 catches, 2 of them were touchdowns.
I get like everybody, like, oh, we got to get Austin all the touchdowns, and the stats are cool and whatever. A couple of different thoughts on that. Like, Ashton's more excited for Austin Bolt to score, than Austin Bolt's excited to score, and Austin's probably like, we should let Austin or Ashton score, but nobody's thinking about that. They're kind of thinking about how do we set everything up for the rest of the year. Hey, and let's start even first of all. This was our game plan going in. How are we going to score when we get to this position? And they called the play and it won.
Yeah.
And we talked about it on the pregame show, and a couple of times I've been telling you, like, if they continue to run like this and the passing continues to, I know you guys say it's been, better, but just I would say average for over the last couple of games. Like, if you're mentioning cover 0 and all this stuff, like for Madsen to come out and go 21 of 25 for 256 yards, like there's going to be some defenses going, okay, we can't just ignore the pass here either. No, and that might reopen up some things in the running game.
Yeah, it's a great job by the coaching staff to realize what covers we're playing. I told Ray, we were watching this game, I said, God, this is a lot of man. They're playing a lot of man, and they torched them. When they went man, they started throwing it. The guys got open, and if you can get open in man, because man is built to stop the run. Load the box, stop the run. We're going to play man. They play. I was like, this is a lot of man, and boom, 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 touchdown. You're now play man. Play man. We're going to torch you in the pass. You play zone, something like that, we're going to torch you in the run.
Another big upset. Shout out Taylon Green. Arkansas takes down Tennessee just now also.
Oh, yeah.
So that's awesome. Good for Taylon Green.
No, in all seriousness, that's awesome. Taylon, that guy, phenomenal. I know I at one point I think he left the game hurt. I think he must have come back in. Man, shout out to him. Hank had a huge,
he did earlier today.
Huge win today.
Yep.
Pittman said that Arkansas, he just saved his job. He did. He saved his job. He beat Auburn. He's beaten Tennessee. Pittman, shout out, great O-line coach, saved his job tonight.
But that fires me up for Taylor because I think Sam Pittman was one of the guys this week said, we have a confidence problem at a quarterback. And, man, what a little confidence will do for you. Guys excited about, hey, you're a good player.
Right.
Like, you jump on that I think that's unbelievably underappreciated how much confidence will do for you. And I feel like Sam Pittman was trying to tell Taylor, you're a great player, man. Just go out and be a great player. So excited about that. Obviously, I think it must have been 16-14 or something like that. So defense for Arkansas. Obviously, was awesome. But
really good.
We're at the James Kitchen and Bar. They're still open if you're downtown over in the parking lot still watching. Come on by, have a beverage, some food. A Horseshoe Golden Ale would be highly recommended here as well. Once again, Reed, see somebody you know, Corey Bell, former Bronco here. There's always former Broncos in the house. The 75-yard, let's get back to Jeanty. I mean, we could talk about him all show.
Right.
I played the first one already. Here's the 75-yarder that he had. First play drive again. We're behind the end zone, runs right at the camera here. But again, that first hit, that second hit, that third hit, and then just once he gets by him, he's gone. I mean,
no doubt.
We see this exact same clip about twice a game.
You do. And it's once again that, and we can break it down further on Wednesday, right?
The all 22, the up top view, yeah.
Right, with the up top view, and we can find that on social media. Shout out. But once again, there you go. They're rotating the safeties. He cuts it back, stiff arm, right, little leakage possibly, stiff arm, takes it home, and it's a touchdown. And he's out running 21 and everybody else. But it's one thing about this that we talked about starting fast in this game.
Yep.
You can start.
And I'll go back and show this is the first one that you're talking about. Can't start any faster with the first one here. And I will say this, like College Game Day talks about him today. Chris Peterson comes out and does the interview this week, and like all this hype, first play of the game, 63 yards. See ya.
Sure.
I just started laughing in the press box.
So
I'm just like, it really is getting I mean, I keep saying it's unbelievable, but I mean, it really shouldn't be at this point.
So did I. I mean, he's just a great player, but let's talk about what happened. So Boise won the toss, deferred. Utah State takes the team. First play of the game is a sack. Okay, second play, I don't know. Was it a screen? I thought it was a sack. I'm not sure what it was. I can't remember. But and all of a sudden you start that sack, tackle for loss, and then a bad play on third down.
Yep.
Touchdown. Can you start any faster? Now that series, the next series, Utah State drove down the field and scored.
We got a guest here.
Podcast and Utah State, they have the worst defense in college. So it was not good. And Jeanty, we'd like to see how well he did today, and it was great. And it was a good game. Good game.
That about summed it up, right?
Good job. Perfect.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it there.
You're 100% right.
That was about as good as we could do for the next 45 minutes, Brad.
Yeah, there is
Utah State's not very good. Jeanty is very good, and the Broncos win again.
Yeah, I agree with you.
What'd you say? You said last Saturday on the postgame show, you described Utah State with a three-letter word.
They're ass. They're not
I'm not gonna lie. When it got about 28-10, I had about 5 people text me saying, in the words of Brad Bedell.
I'm not gonna lie to you. That's one thing. There's one thing you're never gonna call me is a liar. And guess what? That's not a very good defense. It's not. Offensively, we saw they're 5th in the conference in total offense. They put up some numbers right now, I think, and I agree with you. So we can go back. If you want to talk about defense, I agree. The passing game at 222 in the first half.
Well, I might have been more than that. That's when I looked up. I'll check it here and see while we're talking.
That was lopsided. I didn't know it was that much. Number one is a premier wide receiver in this
262 in the first half.
So that's when dudes are playing, right? So that's a little bit concerning if you want to look at the overall scheme, right?
Yep.
I didn't catch coverages. I didn't quite.
And again, they came in 109th in pass defense already.
This isn't going to help.
And then it's the lack of the turnovers too, which I guess leads to some passing yards. But I don't know if they're having all these sacks too. I don't think they had as many tonight, but they came in leading the nation in sacks. Does that lead when you're sacking more and that you're maybe bringing more pressure, leaving more one-on-ones or more guys out there? I mean, is that a give and take there? You want to get pressure, but you're going to give up some yards.
You're absolutely is. It is. If you're giving up pressure,
only one sack for 3 yards tonight for the defense.
Really? So it was the second play was a screen.
Yep.
So then the one sack came, if I'm right, the first play of the game. So Utah State came offensively. Kyle Sethla, I'll say it, the offensive coordinator did a hell of a job. He's a Colorado Buff. Okay, shout out to him. But I think when you're if you're going to pressure and play man and or cover 3, there's a lot of holes that they took advantage of. And the quarterback dealt it. Number one's a hell of a player. I think he is the premier wide receiver in this conference. I'll say it again. And we think we got good wide receivers. That guy, in my opinion, number one for Utah State was the different on the field at that time when their offense is on the field. And he had a great night. He had a big time night. He's long. He's an NFL wide receiver.
Devo Bronx saying the defensive scheme was poor and they made no adjustments on the Boise State side there defensively.
Do we think they were trying to make adjustments once they're up 30? Yeah. Sorry,
I did notice at halftime
they checked out for a minute.
Corey Bell, right?
Yeah.
So former Bronco.
Yep.
But what was the scheme, Beth?
If Brent says if Boise State doesn't get pressure on the quarterback, the DBs get cooked. How important is getting pressure? When they're not getting pressure, they're seeing some long passing plays.
It's always good when you get pressure. It cuts down the coverage, right?
Well, if you hold on to the ball forever, somebody's going to come open.
Tyler K says Ricky White, the UNLV receiver, would like a word with you about best receiver in the conference.
Perfect. Well, I'll tell you what. I don't know Ricky White from anybody else or whatever his name is. All as I know is a premier institution.
He blocked a couple pounds.
He's a pretty good receiver too. But this cap tonight was
this number one tonight. Well, okay, great. The two top wide receivers are both losers. Okay, right? UNLV lost, and Utah State got the brakes beat off of them. Yep. And you know what? But I'll tell you this: there's a premier institution that probably a lot of people that are going to play that Boise State's going to play within the next 2 years offered that kid $500,000. Yeah, then that's a fact.
Now, in the second half, Boise State first pulled Jeanty at halftime. About midway through the third quarter, pulled the rest of the offensive players, but they left the defensive starters in there several more series. And then Ahmed Hassani went down and had to be helped off the field. Some fans were wondering kind of if you're taking the offensive starters out, why aren't you also taking the defensive starters out? How does that
take this one, please?
How does that kind of go?
I can deliver it my way. That's the same fan that wants Ashton Jeanty to win for 300 yards and keep him in the field in the fourth quarter. So you can't bitch about it two ways.
But what's the I guess why do you take some starters out on offense but not defense? Why not do them all at the same time?
I don't know. We don't know how many guys are actually on the field. There could have been injuries at practice that I don't know about.
We're also in game 5, right?
Right.
And so there's certain guys you probably can't play.
We talked about that earlier.
If you intend on redshirting,
your depth changes on week 5 right now. Your depth chart just got cut by 25%. Because if your freshmen are 25% of your roster, you want a redshirt all 25, your roster and the guys available to play just got cut by 25%. So if he's on the field, if they keep their defense on the field, I don't know. That's a great question for Spencer. Maybe they wanted him to play longer. Maybe they weren't. Maybe
Utah State still had their starters on offense in there too,
right? But maybe Shenander didn't like the way his defense was playing and wanted to keep him on the field.
Yeah, we do have Devo Bronk. He has called for it. He is asking, he is demanding. Shenander needs to go. Is one of the comments here.
That would be.
He's an idiot.
Now, Chris says Shenander is obviously trying to cover up on the back end with heavy pressure packages, and Petrus was getting rid of it quick, causing problems. So if you blitz a lot and you get rid of it quick, does that lead to some big passing plays?
Yeah, it leads to open holes and broken tackles. It lead to explosive the one guy that just said Shenander should be fired is the same guy who's stroking him last week, saying that he's the greatest DC in the conference. So you guys can all.
That might be literally the dumbest thing I've ever.
Yeah, that's
same guy taking a shot at Ron Collins too. Same guy. Come on.
What did Ron Collins do?
He said Shenander equals Ron Collins. DB is always getting beat in single coverage on the outside.
How many championships Ron Collins won here?
Same guy. We'll just start ignoring him here, I guess. Yeah. Let's see.
I welcome.
Devo Bronco.
We will take some voicemails.
Devo Bronco, less than Bronco Vader. Bronco Vader rules Devo Bronco.
We'll take some voicemails on the Signature Roofing voicemail line. If you have a voicemail, a thought about the game, speakpipe.com/BNN, speakpipe.com/BNN, and we'll get your voicemails in, your thoughts.
I literally can't.
Chris Washburn said that. Chris Washburn says Shenander is doing a phenomenal job with a secondary that clearly has limitations. Would you go that far?
No, I mean, he's doing a phenomenal job, but I don't know what their limitations are, and neither is anybody else. Yeah, it's all different. Every game.
No. We're not. You got a question? You want to come on the air here, sir?
Yeah, I think you guys need to have a spot up on the big board and, be talking.
In game on the.
Oh, let's not do that.
I think Brad.
Yeah, all you guys.
Yeah.
Anyway, good to see you.
I appreciate it.
All right.
You want?
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
What's this? Oh, he's giving us the handshake here. Brad, come on. Come on. That's nice of you. Thank you.
You want to talk about?
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that.
How about a quick way of changing my ways? You put
Boise
me on a
Nation
big board.
to have you guys.
That's nice of you to say.
No,
We
thank
appreciate
you.
all
I
of you
appreciate it.
guys are the ones that make the show.
Oh,
Thank you, man. We appreciate that. That's very nice of you to say, sir. We appreciate that.
Yeah, we need more early games so we can get fans in
we
here.
like the early games better.
Yeah,
we get more fans back here. By the way, I'm going to put the graphic here on screen. We said pregame. We hoped it happened. Kent Riddle, for the first time this year, we get the Breezy Bundle.
You got it.
The Breezy Bundle is up.
Get a meat stickle down your throat.
Tuesday, let's everybody show up, grab a glizzy and a drink.
Get a glizzy down your gullet.
Hot dog and a soda for $1.
That might be the best deal.
Are you excited about that?
Happy birthday to John Jackson. John turned 70 this week.
God, I hope it make it. I hope I make it to 70.
They had a huge birthday party last night. Beach Boys in town.
Did you go?
Yeah, no, I did not.
They play his birthday party?
Yes, they did.
Well, shout out Jackson's and again the Breezy Bundle.
Seriously, Jackson's phenomenal supporters of the program.
Yeah.
These guys are awesome. Not only would not Boise State be the same, Boise would not be the same without them and their help. I get to shout out to Leslie and Grace.
They came by earlier today.
Well, a couple other quick sponsors I want to thank while we're doing that. The Blue and Orange Store, check them out. TheBlueandOrangeStore.com. You can get your game day gear at the Blue and Orange Store. TheBlueandOrangeStore.com. Online at TheBlueandOrangeStore.com. Gear, you can get it online, or you're going to get it out there at the Boise Town Square Mall. Make sure you check them out at the Blue and Orange Store. Transportation Compliance Service, check them out as well, transcompservice.com. Transportation Compliance Service can help you get into the trucking industry pretty quickly. They're helping 50 folks a day. They can help you at transcompservice.com. Taco Bell, TacoBellWorks.com. Check them out. We appreciate the SOA Management Group, the Nicolason family. Great meal. We took my family there the other night and saw the owner just sitting in there eating with his family at Taco Bell. If that doesn't tell you that the food's good, the owner's come in there a couple of times a week to eat there himself. Stan Nicolason, was good to see them. So check them out. Taco Bell, TacoBellWorks.com. And Lithia Ford of Boise. Don't forget the Saturday of the bye week from 11 to 2 at Lithia Ford of Boise on October 19th. You can go meet Matt Lauder, Jonah Dalmas, Ahmed Hassanin, and Andrew Simpson. The 4 NIL guys will be at Lithia Ford of Boise. And you guys said you got to see Jim Sturka earlier today. He'll be up there. Again, Lithia Ford of Boise, October 19th of the bye week, 11 to 2 at Lithia Ford of Boise. And Snake River Pool and Spa, Patio and Game, thespateam.com. Again, locations in Twin Falls, Boise, Meridian, Nampa. Been around since 1978. They're part of the Boise State home team. Whether you're looking for a spa, whether you're looking for a, pool table, whether you're looking for a, sauna, they can take care of you. They can take care of you at thespateam.com. We appreciate them for their support. And again, Ridley's Family Markets, shopridleys.com. Check them out. Shopridleys.com. We appreciate them at shopridleys.com. 40% off at the checkout line using their app. I was a little distracted here, guys, because I just got about 10 text messages as I predicted with 16 seconds left. Arizona State has scored to retake the lead. So I told you it happens pretty much every game. 16 seconds left. But it looks like KU's down to about the 50-yard line with 16 seconds left. So we'll see what happens. But
did you turn my mic?
I turned both of your mics off. There you go.
Good move.
BJ turned my mic off so I wouldn't talk stuff versus Kansas. Kansas is the same as Utah State.
For the last 10 years, I'm so used to that I don't even it is what it is. We're just bad again. So
how about this one?
Oh, well.
1999, we went to Kansas. We were the number 18 team in the country. Kansas beat us, and they're still walking the goalpost across the.
Shout out to Vanderbilt. for walking the goalposts all the way down Broadway in Nashville.
God bless them.
All the way to the river. I believe it said it was an hour journey, but they got it to the river.
That's awesome. How can you not love college football?
Lots of ranked teams lost today. People are saying Boise State could make a little jump up the rankings maybe tomorrow morning. I know you guys say that doesn't really matter, but we were talking about this, and there's a couple voicemails actually about the CFP, and I know you guys will say, when you guys hear them, you're going to say that's 2 months away. We're not even going to think about that right now.
But we're going to have to change our tune here in a couple of weeks because the first college football ranking is going to come out.
Yeah.
And that matters here in the next week or two.
One of the voicemails was talking about
to the coaches and players, it won't matter. To the fans, it absolutely matters.
I mean, to get to the playoff, though,
but to the coaches,
you're right.
They can't change anything other than what they're doing.
But this is a real scenario. The Big 12 is kind of beating each other up right now. There's not a clear top 5, top 10 team in the Big 12. The top 4 ranked conference champions get buys. If Boise State can finish above the champion of the Big 12 in the rankings, Boise State could be number 4 and get a first-round bye.
You know what's ass?
That would be awesome. They won't let that happen.
They won't. But you know what else is really, really horrible, and other things I could say is the Big 12, the champion's going to get a first-round bye, and they're a below-average conference.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, but it won't matter.
Now the Mountain West needs to get their stuff together.
The fighting Justin Wilcox's score again. They take a 21-10 lead.
Great.
Might as well have another top 10 team lose tonight. If
shout out to Barry, he's there.
He's at the game. Yeah,
I got some great pictures from Barry at from the James at game day today. So he was not hanging out with Money Lynch.
All right, so we can. We can sit here and let's go back to our game. Let's sit here and complain. I'm all for it. So all the fans, let's go 5 minutes of comments. I don't give a stuff.
Nothing but comments?
Nothing but the comments. I don't care right now. So let's talk about this.
It's gonna be good.
It's not, but I like arguing. So let's talk about this. The defense is horrible. Our quarterback is too short. We have a great O-line. We have a Heisman finalist in running back.
Why didn't he get enough
touches?
Yeah.
Oh, but hold on. 1 goes down. 6 is going to go down, possibly.
Yeah.
But everybody wants to talk about on Monday. The same guy saying that, oh, we stink. Our defense stinks. Oh, heck yeah, we're 18th in the country. I don't get it. And everybody's you're gonna bash me on Twitter and say that somebody said I owe apology to Bronco Nation.
For what?
Wait on that one. I'll tell you this. You wait on that one. I just
we'll just do a show on that.
Yeah, wish in one hand and do the other in the other and see which one fills up first. And you know what? Because you know what? This is what I love about college football. And we talked about it, the pressure is going to mount as games go on.
Yep.
Some people fold, some people don't. Some people have great leadership in the players, which I think Boise State does, and some people have great leadership within the staff. And they go and they dominate and win 62-30 at home.
Should we get to some voicemails?
Hang on.
Okay.
Because the big concern today was whether we would start fast.
First play. Well, 3 and out, and then first.
3 and out. And so I assume they were ready to play today.
Voicemails?
Is that safe?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Was it safe they were ready to play?
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
There's no doubt.
No doubt. We do have a couple of voicemails. I believe these were, this is from Chris. I think he wants to talk CFP. What do you got for us, Chris?
Hey, BJ, just wanted to throw a quick thought in here. Heard you and Jay talk about the CFP seating and Boise potentially getting a home game. One thing I'm not seeing anyone talk about is the fact that if Boise State wins out and the way the Big 12 is playing out with all the teams being kind of pretty good but not great and cannibalizing each other, there's a decent chance that even if Boise's finishes the season, wins out and finishes ranked 10, 11, 12, there's a decent shot they're ranked higher than the Big 12 champ, depending on how their schedules go. And we get a bye as the 4 seed and host a Fiesta Bowl in the second round of the playoff. So just thought I'd throw that in there and kind of see what your guys' thoughts are. Obviously, a home game at the Blue would be sick, but first round bye would be pretty nice too.
I would 100% hope that's true.
I don't think that can happen.
I think that's a long shot.
Because I thought
you're talking about fighting uphill against
but I
people
thought, and I could be way wrong, and trust me, the comments will fix me. But I thought the Big 12, the ACC, the SEC, their champion gets a first round bye.
It's the 4 highest ranked champions.
Okay. So I didn't know that.
I mean, there is a real scenario where Boise State keeps winning, moves up, and is, like you said, 8th or 9th. But if the Big 12 champ is 12th, they move up to 4.
If Oregon wins next week, they play Ohio State, then maybe that's on the table. But
that's a game.
Yeah.
Well, I think the Big 12 right now would be the only conference that, although Miami just lost, and maybe the ACC got team with Clemson, maybe they're lower than.
My point being,
they didn't lose. They're playing right now.
If the only loss is Oregon, then that helps Boise State's case.
Oh, there's no doubt. But also, a winning Oregon helps.
We're all talking about Boise State. They're just trying to control what they can control.
There's 8 games left, counting a championship game before that.
If they finish,
and a UNLV game coming up, and a Hawaii game on the Rock, which
we can get to that a little later in the show.
Okay, but all as I know is this: Michigan went down, a lot of teams went down, but Boise State dominated, and I love it. And I'm sorry, I'm happy for Spencer.
Yep,
it's the leadership. It's the player leadership.
I think
do they have some things? Yes, I think
Hawaii's ass.
Oh, I think they're going to whoop their. Hawaii is another one. It rhymes with grass. What is that? Ass. Yeah, they're ass too. And they're playing San Diego State right now, which is another below average football team.
Yep.
The Mountain West Conference is below average this year.
Yeah.
Right, wrong, or indifferent.
San Diego State was actually losing to Hawaii.
Okay.
Who ended up winning, Nevada or San Jose State? That came over yet?
San Jose.
We'll go back. We'll check Mountain West scores right now.
They brought in the homeless people. Sold them hot dogs.
By the way, double overtime. Oregon State takes down Colorado State. San Jose State comes back to win 35-31 over Nevada. San Diego State pulls out a 27-24 win over Hawaii. And then last night, we talked about that earlier, UNLV falling to Syracuse in overtime of that game. But one more playoff topic before we go back. Would you rather get that bye and be we're dreaming? Why not? Just let me listen here. A home game on the blue, a home playoff game on the blue, finishing say 5th or 6th and getting to host.
Okay.
Or do you take 4th and the bye and then play a tougher team in the next game in the Fiesta Bowl? Wouldn't it be? I know Rid's looking at me, but there'd be something pretty cool about a home playoff game on the blue.
You know how cool it'd be if I won $100 million in the lottery?
Hypotheticals.
Okay, hypothetical. Okay.
They're both good.
This is what
They're
I want.
both good.
I want the bye and a tougher game.
If you want to, I mean, if you think you have a real chance of winning the whole thing, and that's the goal. I mean, I know that's the goal, but
I want the extra game. I want an extra threat of injury. I want another game of film study. I want to get whoever is on the cusp of coming back from injury. I want them back, and then I want that. But yeah, that's like.
And I also think it's about money. It's about money.
It's like
you're talking about
rainbows.
The CFP would never let a bye happen. I doubt they would let a home game in a 37,000 seat stadium happen either for money reasons.
It's the reason why the SEC. If you guys really look at SEC football, look at the last 5 weeks. The teams that are 1, 2, 3, and 4, or 2, 4, top 10 teams.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the officiating. Just I'm not accusing anybody of anything. Just watch it. It's actually very intriguing.
I don't know. Arkansas just beat Tennessee.
We're not there yet, though. We're not there yet. Just wait. Georgia's going to get in there. Now that Alabama's lost to a Vanderbilt team, watch. Who's going to be number 1 now?
It's a good question.
It's a very good question.
Texas. Where was Texas? Texas.
SEC.
Texas would be number 1.
Yeah.
SEC. Sure. Yeah, but they'll step on their dongs.
We mentioned Jeanty, his 186 yards. Let's get into Jeanty here. Can we get and
we haven't talked about him.
The debate of
Ohio State might be number 1.
Ooh, yeah.
Shout
out to Jessica, big Ohio State fan. My wife.
Okay, nice.
Ohio, no, yeah, terrible.
I think I know where you are on this. You might be a little more in the middle. I think you're both probably on the other side of me and a lot of the fans. But Ashton Jeanty. No, we've talked about this in the past. But Ashton Jeanty coming out at halftime with the numbers that he had And we're talking about this hype and so much. And I think he's facing an uphill battle in terms of the Heisman Trophy, in terms of trying to just get to New York. Like every yard, every touchdown for that guy, I think at the end of the season is going to matter. And I'm not saying you play him all 4 quarters, but I would have given him a series or 2 in the third quarter to get him over 200 yards, to shut him down at the end of the first half. With the way you're rolling your eyes at me, Red, I'm sure you agree with the move. But I think a lot of fans were hoping that he would have played a little bit longer in this game. What's your guys' take?
I'm just going to bow out of this one and say you're right.
Oh, I'll tell you the way it is. I don't think, for me, I wouldn't play him. And the reason why is this. Heisman, he talked about it, right? The young man was on an interview, and what did he say? I want to leave a legacy. Leaving a legacy, is it Heisman or is it getting to the playoff? He's a team-oriented guy. So therefore is it more important that he gets an extra 10 carries in the third quarter and
Which for him could be over another 100 yards
and risk injury? Or do you shut him down and you have him all year and you win out? In my opinion, Kellen Moore, right? He was a Heisman finalist. Am I right? They pulled him out of a lot of games.
Yeah, they did.
Now, I know he's a quarterback.
Yeah.
But the young man is still on track to be a 2,000-yard rusher. And historically, 2,000-yard rushers are Heisman finalists.
I mean, he had 13 carries tonight. It's not like they were overworking him. I mean, give him a series or 2 in the second half. He still gets, 16, 17 carries? Like, yeah, but 13 carries. Like, that's nothing.
But you also went into the locker room in halftime way up.
You shut him down.
I don't think that was even debatable.
You shut him down. Yeah, you shut him down.
At halftime, though, don't even give him the third quarter. I mean, I'm just looking at the comments here. I would say it's 80% saying that they would have liked to have see him a little more.
So okay, I would like to watch him because he's awesome.
I want to watch him.
Why is the last carry he gets in the second quarter any different than him the first carry in the third quarter in terms of him possibly getting hurt?
And hung out
he's got to rewarm.
Yeah, this game's over.
It's over. But it's the same people. It's the same 80%. And I'll tell you this 1,000 times. It's the same 80% that if he played in the third quarter and he pulled his hamstring and he's gone for 4 weeks,
playing him.
Fire them all. Get everybody out. Fire them. You can't. Let's not play both sides, guys.
Now they did keep the rest of the offensive starters in for a couple more drives, though. He was the one guy they took out.
He's not an average offensive starter.
Yeah.
Hindsight is freaking awesome. I wish I had it for every game. If we had that, we would have never lost.
Never,
ever.
It's much easier to. From the press box, my seat up there it's much easier than I'm sure coaching on this. It looks a lot easier up there. Yeah,
I would tell you this. I would have pulled him at the last 3 quarters of the second quarter. I would have pulled him. There's no reason for him to play, and especially when your quarterback's playing well, and then the backup rallies off great runs and things like that. So let me ask
other guys to play.
Yeah, and the other thing is this: go to the comments and how about this one? Hey, are you guys being more selfish because you want him to be, you're so gung-ho about him being a Heisman finalist, or are you more concerned about winning the rest of the year? Because that's what it comes down to. Because everybody, if he got hurt in the third, everybody's saying, fire Spencer, fire Dirk, fire the running backs coach. They don't know what they're doing. They should have pulled him. But they don't. They want to continue to see him because he's a Heisman candidate. He's still a Heisman candidate. He
still is.
Yeah. He's the best running back in the country.
Without question.
And you can't complain when you don't see him anymore. When he's rushed for 180, he's going to rush for 2,000 on the year. And there's going to be a game, and Dirk Cutter said it in this last press conference, and he was a testy one. He's like, there's only so many carries these guys have. Right. And the other thing is, I hate to say this, if you want to think about an NFL career, they care how many carries you get in college.
Yeah.
They
absolutely.
care. They care. So
miles on the tread.
Right. Alexander Madsen had 30-something carries in the conference championship versus Fresno State. That's awesome. We needed that. And he rushed for 220. But we needed that. They didn't need him tonight. They didn't need him tonight. Maybe they're gonna need him in a game that we don't think is going to happen.
What's the number in terms of the lead? What's the magic number where it is all right, he's just done? How do you figure that out?
There's no magic number. it's absolutely every game. Like this game's over, get him out.
Yeah, I think it's yeah. If you're up by 21, something like that, or whatever, but it doesn't matter if the backup's going to do the same thing.
It might be 35. Yeah. It might be like who knows.
Utah State's horrible. It doesn't matter.
Seth T says get him to 200 yards, and however long that takes, and then you pull him out.
Then Seth T, why 200 yards?
Because it looks a little better than 186. That 2 in front.
Does it? Seth had the over. I saw the over under on Madsen's.
They said some are saying put it in his hands. Is a player get any kind of decision then?
No.
I love that
because they would never come out.
He would never ever. As a coach, you're there to protect the player.
Absolutely,
you're there to protect the player.
But Ashton, I think the over under the last one I saw 186.5.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. At one point, it was 191. It might have come down a little bit, but yeah.
Beat. It's a bad beat.
Well, I saw it 2 days ago, so it could have gone up. But
296 total rushing yards, though, for Boise State. Jeanty gets his 186, but Breezy Dubar, we mentioned he scored a touchdown. He gets 9 carries for 65 yards.
The Breezy bundle at Jackson. Let's go.
Glizzy dog down your
Tyler Crow gets 24 yards for Crow. Now, Dylan Riley had 8 carries for 16 yards, but how about his 96-yard, I believe it was, kick return? Stacey Collins, not a lot of haters for him tonight either. That was a big-time play for the true freshman. He, really got some action because of what he did at running back, and then they decided, okay, maybe we don't want to redshirt this kid. Let's play him. With Caples being limited in terms of kick return and stuff, they were giving some different guys chances. Dylan Riley, that was an impressive game.
First of all, I would say this. Fired up to see Luttrell back out there.
Yeah, 1 catch for 14 yards for him. But that touchdown that he had was right after Utah State had scored, and they had cut it to, I think, 14-10, or it does something to cut to it, and then right away,
all he had
boom.
to do was freaking catch the ball, and he ran a straight line to the goal line because the blocking, like everybody else, killed it.
Well,
I was wrong on that. It was 35-17. They had just gone for a 75-yard touchdown from Petrus to Royals, and then right away, boom, 96-yard return. 5 minutes left in the second quarter, made it 42-17.
And the punt return, awesome. He did. Yeah. How great was the punt under pressure? Yeah, it really should have been down inside the 5.
Yeah.
But
Rick,
you were like, how did you get it off? They were great. I mean, they punted.
Oh yeah, that one punt. I don't know what they ended up going distance wise, but he won. And
they hate to say backup punter. So
it felt like a couple of the guys were, I don't want to say not sprinting, but once they saw, we might have a chance at this, they started running. If they had been going a little faster, they could have stopped that at the 1, I think, beforehand.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
It was going to bounce out of bounds and then bounce back, but
I was too worried about the rush. I was like, oh no. Okay, you got the ball off.
No,
it was on the back, and it was on the backside, and which is the backside of punt you shouldn't worry about.
The game plan tonight gives Jeanty no chance for the Heisman. Was one of the comments here.
Okay. Who is that?
This is Seth T.
Hey, Seth T. What was wrong with the game plan? It's the same run game. They didn't reinvent the wheel tonight.
13 carries for so I'm just going to say his yards per carry went up.
Well, yes, and I don't have the numbers in front of me. I'm taking just the word of the folks on here, but multiple people are now saying that the Ashton Jeanty is now, as of right this second, on multiple sites, the betting favorite to win the Heisman Trophy. So it didn't hurt him too much tonight.
If Miami lost, Alabama lost, who was
Colorado? Who did they play? Or were they on a bye?
I don't know if
Travis Hunter.
Who?
Well, I'm going to assume they didn't play because I saw Shedeur Sanders at the Las Vegas Aces games.
Yeah, I don't. Shedeur Sanders, and I mean, I'll
so
pass on that whole thing. Travis Hunter, in my opinion, is the best athlete in college football.
I would agree.
Is he the best wide receiver in the country?
In the corner.
Well, do you think he's the best wide receiver in the country?
No, he's the best.
Is he the best corner in the country?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I would argue maybe he's like second or third in each of those. He's not the best at either one, but I guess combined, that still makes him a heck of a player.
In my opinion, he's the best athlete in college football. He's unbelievable.
I don't know if he's first, second, third
Can we shout out Jonah Dalmas as well? He makes 2 field goals tonight. He sets the Mountain West career, and again, I know COVID was involved, whatever, but he sets the career Mountain West field goal record, 84 made field goals. Now the Mountain West all-time leader. He is now 13 away and one from the NCAA record, but that's only his 5th made field goal in 5 games because we've talked about it. The red zone efficiency has been so good for Boise State. They haven't really had a chance to take many field goals, but he goes 2 for 2 tonight. Again, Mountain West record, and now 13 away with 9 games left.
Control what you can control, because nobody wants to see Boise State like, let's just down it here and kick field goals so we can get their record.
Right.
So, control what you can control. If the numbers work out, he'll be very fired up. If they score touchdowns,
the
whole way, he'll be even more fired up.
So
he did a great job, and just keep.
What can you say though, Rid, about Dalmas and just his career? And again, 5 for 6 this year. Hasn't had a ton of chances, but 5 for 6. And sorry if you had a point. We'll get to that in a second, Brad. What was it about?
We'll lose it. We're good.
14.3 yards a carry. That's his average tonight. A carry.
Who, Jeanty?
Yes. 75 yards the longest. So every time he touched the ball, he almost averaged first down.
So I think that puts him almost. Is he still over 10? Maybe almost 11 yards per carry
I would assume
on the
like
season.
11 yards carry.
That's ridiculous.
And I actually thought about that after his first 63-yard run. It's like, okay, he could get zero yards on the next 6 carries and still be averaging 10 yards a carry or whatever.
But
it's crazy.
It's okay. The game plan was horrible. It's all right. Cool.
Can we go back to Jonah Dalton? Can we give the kicker a little more love for a second?
I love
All right. But just what his career, and he came back obviously to try to set the record, but just to have a steady guy back there that if it does come down to a field goal at some point this year, you feel pretty good about it. And again, Mountain West career leader and has a chance here for the NCAA record, 13 away.
Congrats to Jonas. That's a phenomenal deal. Anytime you get to set a record like that for somewhere that's been around. But yeah, I would assume he would prefer they keep scoring touchdowns. So, but congrats to Jonas. That phenomenal deal. The guy is unbelievable in terms of his accuracy.
Yeah.
Like he
not bad for a little piss ant that walked in and said I can kick.
Yeah. I mean, no, seriously. Like
I love
that guy's such a really good player.
And he's not a kicker. He's a guy. He's one of the guys.
Yeah.
And that's what I love. I don't like, kickers. He's one of the guys.
Yeah.
That guy could walk into the old line
Me and
room.
Sanford were at Mountain West Media Days. We're playing blackjack at Media Days, and him and Ahmed may or may not have sat down at our table for a while, and just
allegedly,
just the conversations over a couple blackjack hands. I mean, it was just he's like you said, he's just a dude. He's just a great
good dude. And if you want to be great as a kicker, you've been with a bunch of these guys over the years that NFL greats. That's what they are. They're competitors. Like they're not kickers. They're not like, ooh, the
Mason
grass
Crosby
is,
was not that.
No.
I mean, these guys are like they're a part of the team, and that makes a great kicker.
Yeah,
we've talked a lot about the red zone for Boise State this year. They were perfect in the red zone coming into the game. They go 5 of 6 tonight. Because at the end of the game, they kneel it inside the 20 to hurt the streak.
I'm sure they're worried about that.
No, I'm just saying they had the perfect streak going, and now they
totally
unfortunately.
kidding.
I know I'm saying it stinks that they count that. I mean, they had they were perfect. I'm not. No, I'm saying it's just the way that the fact that counts. They were 5 for 5. That put them 25 of 25, I think, on the season.
Yeah,
and then they have to. Then now the stat is gone.
That's actually
that's the same like communist rule that sacks go against rushing yards. It's communist.
It's
we're not playing
literally. Well, Cuba's not communist anymore, but whatever.
Whole poop. Okay, Vladimir Putin. We're playing communist football. The NFL goes against passing yards.
Right. I agree, and that's really where it should. But then quarterback scrambles should count for passing yards.
I'm not going to argue with that.
Anyway,
folks are wanting to try to let Tyler Crow get a touchdown there at the end of the game.
Yeah, T. Crow.
Once you're up that much, you just kneel it. You don't go for another touchdown.
There was
you got
no
62 points or whatever. Yeah,
you've got. I would say this on the other side. You've got 10 assistant coaches, a head coach. They're just trying to hang on, do the best they can damn do. You don't want to embarrass those guys.
Yes, the best formation in football. Take a knee.
Yeah.
Best formation in football.
Yeah, and I get all the other stuff.
Yeah.
From fans' standpoint, I'm just telling you, as coaches, you know what those guys are going through, and you've either been through it or hope you never go through it.
I think Spencer Danielson screwed up. I think he should have put Ashton Jeanty out there and scored another one. BJ.
I didn't say it. I'm just reading the comments and things here, all right?
I'm just having fun.
But I'm being serious.
Colored shirt.
Like that's easy thing to say.
I agree.
And we could have done this, we could have done that. The reality of it is, as coaches, you're either like, I've been there, or I hope to never be there.
The most sigh of relief you've ever had is, hey, victory formation. Okay, the game's over.
Here we go.
Yeah. All right, who do we have next week? We have Hawaii.
At Hawaii. We'll get to that in 1 second here, but I want to talk about the defense a little more. Shout out Shea Oladipo, 9 tackles tonight, including a half a tackle for loss. Andrew Simpson, 6 tackles, including 2.5 tackles for loss. Herbert Gum, 6 tackles. Zion Washington, Alexander Tubner with 5 tackles. And again, that was with the starters for most of the fourth quarter not playing on the defensive side as well.
7 tackles for loss.
7 tackles for loss. Did only have the 1 sack though, but seven tackles for loss.
I'll take 7 tackles for loss. 1 sack. Yeah, I would say
those guys were getting rid of the ball in a hurry.
Any turnovers for the defense tonight?
Yeah.
No.
I thought they had a fumble recovery.
They did. Utah State lost a fumble. That's right. There was one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there a 4th down stop too?
The 4th down, they were 1 for 3 on 4th down.
Yeah. So
I would say Utah State was successful on 3rd down.
Yeah.
They were
10 of 19 on 3rd down.
Yeah, that's pretty not bad for how many times
again, we've talked about it.
A lot of 3rd downs. For how many times you're managed to convert some, but 19 3rd downs.
10 of 19 on 3rd down, and that is another stat that again I know it's whatever, but through 5 games, third down is
were late in the game.
But the overall 3rd down stats haven't been great this year for Boise State. Let's see what else we got here. 507 yards, though, for Utah State. You shut out the receiver. Their quarterback as well, though, 372 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. I know you said some of that was second half, but
that's a good outing. Hey, I think Kyle Cefalo is a good offensive coordinator for Utah State.
Steph's the man.
I do. I think he was
our
he was with Arkansas State
graduate. BK graduate. Played at Colorado. Was our GA at Arkansas State, and awesome to see that dude growing.
No doubt.
They got smart.
Yeah, Ty Benefield, I believe, had the fumble recovery. That was the one they're calling out.
Yeah, he's I mean, it's a turnover.
We talked earlier though about I think it was with Alex Guerrero too about just that mindset of you're supposed to beat this team by 30. Don't let them hang around. Put them away. Do what you're supposed to do. Business-like approach. Get it done. Kick there, whatever. And that's exactly what happened tonight. I mean, they were locked into this game from the first play.
Yeah.
What does that say, I guess, about this team and their mindset? And we may be having that same talk 5 more times this year where they're favored by 25 points. They did a pretty good job tonight. They did a pretty good job tonight from the start of, stepping on the throat and not getting up.
Yeah. Next week's a different challenge because it's on the island, but they'll answer it. They'll show up. They'll be ready to play. That's not going to be an issue. Bye week, UNLV after that.
What a perfect time to have a bye week.
Yeah.
And not to mention Hawaii. I mean,
let me thank a couple of sponsors real quick, and then we'll talk Hawaii and spin this head and wrap up.
And then get some comments.
We can take comments anytime you want. We are enjoying Western Collective Horseshoe Golden Ale here on the post-game show. You can have a Horseshoe Golden Ale. You can have a Orange Chaos Seltzer. They're available at most local retailers as well as inside our studio sponsor. We appreciate Western Collective. And again, you can go to one of their 2 locations, downtown Boise or Garden City as well. Our title sponsor is roepaint.com. Check them out, roepaint.com. Check them out. Our title sponsor, rowpaint.com. All your painting needs, those concrete coatings. We highly recommend our title sponsor. Andy Rowe is going to start appearing on the show on Mondays, so we're looking forward to talking with Mr. Rowe, and great dude, and looking forward to having him pop on Mondays and give his thoughts on things. Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. Check them out as well. Online, the best, easiest mobile e-branch online banking you'll ever find is right there on that app on your phone, ICCU.com. Check them out and be ready during the bye week for the next edition of the Tyson Degenhart Show. Matt Bauscher, Bauscher Real Estate, check them out as well. Matt Bauscher, Bauscher Real Estate, BauscherRealEstate.com. Number one ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley is Matt Bauscher. Check them out at BauscherRealEstate.com. Lean Feast, you looking for some healthy eating? They deliver anywhere in the Treasure Valley now, so check them out. LeanFeastMeridian.com. I got to update that website at the bottom of the screen. It's LeanFeastMeridian.com, and you can get 10,000 plus combinations, healthy eating. Highly recommend it. LeanFeastMeridian.com. Rid, I know you're working on some special guests for Tuesday. I don't know if you're ready to say who they are or not, but I know Tuesday is going to be another fun episode.
I don't know if it's Tuesday.
Oh, yeah, we need to talk about that. Yes, good guess. Yes.
We got
maybe Wednesday.
Sam McCaskill, Thomas Spurbeck, Ben Weaver. So, and
I saw Spurbeck here right before we started the show. He's excited to come on.
Yeah, I think we got down the line, David Moa. I'm trying to think. We got a special one end of the month. So we got a whole bunch of fun stuff coming up, and I'm excited about it.
Okay, Hawaii next week. Going on the island. It's a long trip for a 3-hour game. I remember one time I asked Avalos when he was DC. He was DC, and I said something about going to Hawaii, and I asked something about, is there any chance the players, even going over, get a chance to see the beach when you go over there? And he said they get to see the beach twice, when we take off, when we land. So I know you guys, they'll go over there on a Thursday. I understand it. It's a business trip, but there is a lot there. It's a long trip. I mean, it's a 6-hour flight. I assume they'll have Hawaiian Airlines, they'll get a nonstop, but it's a 6-hour trip. You go the extra day. They're playing in a makeshift, essentially C of I's stadium, kind of a smaller stadium. The Aloha Stadium was condemned, and they're redoing hopefully trying to find them a new stadium. So it's not the same Aloha Stadium as old. It's only about a 15,000 seat stadium.
Dump.
A lot there. It's a 9 o'clock start.
Be fine as long as people show up. But
what is the challenge of going and playing in Hawaii?
I'm going to shout out the Kaniho family. They might put 15,000 people in the States.
They might.
So, it'll be fun. The atmosphere will be fine.
COVID.
They'll see the beach. I mean,
well, that's not true. What he said. It's actually not true. It's not.
You let them have some time to go walk on the beach?
I almost did it.
You actually haven't done one yet, and I'm very proud of you.
It's not true, because all the way back from Pete, when you went and played Hawaii, you actually took the team to see Pearl Harbor.
Yep. Which I don't know if they're doing this year or not.
It doesn't. I'm not saying that.
Do you let them take a 20-minute walk on the beach? Anything? Just some of these kids. You talk about college football being an experience for these kids, and again, I know you're not letting them have a whole day to go play in the sand and party, but I mean, these kids, like, this is an experience. A lot of these kids growing up in Texas or wherever else, they never get a chance to go over there and see the Hawaii.
I remember going out for a jog many times and like seeing the whole team on the beach.
Yeah, so I mean,
they'll be fine.
They'll be fine.
They're not. And again, they're out there for an hour.
And I think he may have said it a little sarcastically, like, this is a business trip. You're out there because this is a business trip.
No,
you're out there to talk about hanging out on the beach.
I guarantee.
But I mean, if you go on a Thursday, maybe you can have there's meetings, there's practice, but they get a little free time.
That's 1,000% true. I mean, there is some time, and depending on how much time you want to spend in bed, versus get up and all that stuff. But
Spencer seems like the guy that might go for a team walk along the beach or something.
How about this one? UC Davis. This is actually a funny ass story.
That's probably true. That is probably would go for a team.
UC Davis. We're going out. We play at Hawaii. Okay. This is a debacle of a trip. Anyways, we let the team on the beach. Said, hey guys, you guys got 2 hours. Go to the beach. Starting right guard steps on the pier, rips the inside of his foot, gone 6 stitches because of coral, not playing. And I'm like, why'd you let him on the beach? And I'll never forget it. Bob Biggs looks at me. He goes, how many times these kids can go to the beach? And I go, they're all California kids, coach. They live on the beach. And he's like, it's experience. And I'm like, yeah, well, the experience, we just lost our guard. So how's this experience going to treat us? He lost by 40.
Yeah.
Which we were going to lose by 40 if we had him or he didn't have him.
Yeah. I can't.
Well, there's only so many times you can meet.
No, I'm just saying, like, I can't guess what their plan is.
I don't either.
I just know there's a little bit of time they can walk.
So,
but they're not going to be in the water. They're not going to be.
They're not going surfing.
I'm happy I'm not on the plane. I don't want to go on the plane.
So what are the? Well, I mean, that's part of it. And I'll obviously, mine's worse. I got to lay over in Oakland or whatever. But I mean, what are the challenges? 6-hour flight. Everything it deals with. I mentioned maybe a smaller stadium, smaller crowd. Like, just what are the challenges of going to Hawaii and playing, if any, different than a normal game?
And be ready to roll.
Yeah, and I would say
that's the hard part. And
the plane ride. The plane ride it's a long time.
It's a long time. And most of those guys,
but it's getting
now.
They don't
like
care.
It's different. Like they're watching videos. They're watching movies.
They're watching movies. But I also think it's important to get them off the plane, and you got to go from plane to bus to hotel. But when you get off that hotel, get them walking around, stretch them, roll them out.
Yeah,
do those. Loosen.
I'll tell you this: it's no different than going to Georgia Southern.
A little further than that, I think, going the other way into the jet stream.
Once you're,
I guess 4 hours versus 5.5. Yeah, what's the difference? Who was the quarterback? Was it on the NFL when they went to Europe or whatever? He was like doing all these stretches in the aisle and all. Was that Russell Wilson? Russell Wilson made a big deal about that because he did all this stretching.
That really
in the
worked out well for Russ.
Ass clown.
Danger Russ.
Yeah, how'd that work out? But I do think there's some to roll them out, and which they roll out night in the day of the game. They'll do all that stuff. But I think it's good to get them out. And one thing, that's another one. You play on the Rock, start fast. Don't give them any hope because for some reason Hawaii has more pride. It's like the blue. Like Boise State's got pride in the blue.
Yep.
They have a lot of pride in the Rock. I mean, you think of it, it's the whole culture, the Polynesian culture. Yeah. You don't lose on the Rock.
I don't know their historic record, but I mean, and I know UCLA is not great this year, but they were winning in the fourth quarter this year at home against UCLA. Came over there and almost lost.
They're a different team.
I was going to say, I would assume their home record is better than their road record.
I would agree.
I mean, most teams it is.
But
that was dumb. No. Every team has a better home record than.
I know what you're saying.
I think this is different.
I would bet it's significantly.
I agree. I think this is a different thing. The Rock is special.
Yeah,
and it's special. It's the culture, which it's awesome.
I'll just say this: any team that shows up not ready to play, it's going to be a problem.
Yep.
Do I think Boise State's going to be falling to that? No, I don't. Like again, the running game travels. Like if you can show up,
it does.
Yeah, it does.
But I do have a question.
If you can show up and run the ball, that's going to be a problem.
I do have a question, and I don't know this, and I guarantee people do. What was the last time they went to the Rock?
I'm going to assume COVID.
So a lot
we were all there. That was a fun experience.
Oh my God! I'd rather just
the whole island was shut down.
I would rather have my never mind removed. We had to eat in our rooms by ourselves. Every player had their own room. We couldn't even talk. So I'm sitting there. I'm trying to gnaw through a steak with plastic utensils.
We're sliding a little bit more. You're cut off.
I was like, you couldn't even eat. You couldn't talk to anybody. And then
we had the biggest meeting rooms of all time for like,
and then the players get together and it's like romper room. It's like we finally get to talk to each other. Oh, imagine Weaver not being able to talk to anybody for 2 hours.
Yeah,
and but these kids, they haven't been on the Rock.
That would be Curtis Weaver.
Yeah, Curtis Weaver.
Yes,
but they haven't been on the Rock. They haven't taken that trip. That's. I mean, so
I remember walking down the because we only went Friday night.
Yeah,
we only went for a day, which is not how we typically do it. And I remember walking down whatever is the boulevard. Whatever.
Yeah, oceanfront.
Empty. Like every place was closed at 3, and it was literally like 6 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like
Chemo's
we had a couple hours and did that, and then went for a jog the next day.
You guys just came in Friday, that one?
Yeah.
Wow.
Brutal.
That was maybe the last game I missed because
because there was no point in going a day before
because we couldn't go to Pearl Harbor.
Couldn't do anything anyway.
Harsh is like, can't go to Pearl Harbor, so we're going on Friday.
Yeah, well, and we couldn't practice. We couldn't
do anything.
I mean,
going on Thursday, whether you do that kind of stuff or not, what does that do for the body? You getting the flight on Thursday and getting the extra day on Friday.
Loosen up.
I think anytime you go like 3 or 4 hours where you're changing the clock, just helps everybody.
I agree.
Adjust.
And then will they find Keneho or one of those guys' high schools to try to go practice at, or walk through on Friday?
Have they said when they're leaving?
Yeah,
I believe they're leaving Thursday. Yeah, Thursday.
Yeah, they'll find somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean,
to walk through.
We have plenty of guys. I would just tell you they're probably not doing anything secret.
Well, but it's a recruiting thing though too, right? Can't to go practice at a local high school.
As much as we have one guy, they might have 10.
Right. Yeah,
So-
they'll watch.
Coaches
games.
will be out Friday night probably at some games.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they'll go.
Yeah,
recruiting.
no, it'll
They've
be,
had, I mean, this is off a side topic, but Correa, you guys would know way better. I mean, they've had some pretty good. Boise State's had some success finding some guys from the island.
and when I say that, like the Keneho family, it's not just him, Kamale, all those guys. Like,
No,
I'm just telling you, we may have way more fans than they do.
we've
at the
always
game.
gone.
Joel Schneider chiming in. He's watching the show. He says, hardest trip for the equipment staff. Shout out Dale.
Fact. Dale.
And nobody would know that better than Joel.
Dale has been.
We
Dale-
should really just
You
have
can't have
Joel
the
here all
equipment
the
truck
time.
drive early on this one.
No, Dale has been sucking down Burger King for the past 3 weeks, dreading the Hawaii trip.
Yeah. No, Joel. But they're taking a 767 this week,
Yeah.
so they can put it all on there, which will make Dale's
I
life
think
a little
Hawaiian
bit
Airlines or
easier.
something. It's a different charter than they usually use because Sun Country, I don't think, can go that far. But
No, but and then it gives some other team. It gives the big guys spread out, so you don't.
Yeah.
You're not just packed in.
No,
It's good.
But Joel's right. I mean, you talk about the guys that deal with like coaches. All we do is like coach, right? And you deal with the guys. Like those guys deal, whether it's Joel is the DFO or chief of staff or whatever, and Dale. Like those guys have. This is a hard week.
They gotta start
and they
packing.
were asking how the equipment flies. Is it on a separate cargo plane? No, they just get a big plane and shove it
They
under
got
the
a
bottom.
big enough plane. Which shout out to Jeremiah for getting like the big dog.
Yeah.
And
They're on the 2-level plane, right? Aren't they on the plane that's like a
I don't know that.
767? You said
No idea.
767. Don't they have? Isn't it like Air Force One with like the
Sure
second? I
sure,
don't know.
Let's roll with that.
It's a big plane though.
It's a big
It's a big plane, but the players can spread out, but the weight works out.
Right.
That's always the hard thing. Like you can't. There's plenty of room to take everybody on a 737, but the weight doesn't work out when you add all the equipment stuff in.
And any booster that's saying like, oh, we don't get to go to Hawaii, it's because they're traveling so much. It's not. You got to take more like the equipment is like Dale. Well, shout out the training staff because every trunk's got to get on from the training staff. All that's got to get on too. So there's a lot more than you guys think.
By the way, I'm not sure why I just thought of this, but Cage Casey, left tackle, all Mountain West player, got a bright future.
Yeah,
was standing outside the facility after interviews talking to Jay Tuss the other day, and Cage Casey walks out, says, "Hey guys, how you doing?" Starts walking to his car, gets in a minivan, and drives off.
He's John Ojukwu times 2.
He drives a minivan. We said, well, we started calling him the big minivan. He said, I'm not a huge fan of that. But we were talking to Tim Keene about it, the O-line coach, and he said, he mentioned OJ. He said, that's got a little bit of a tradition here. The left tackles, there's more room, it's bigger, but I mean, it's just kind of funny. Your star left tackle driving a minivan.
OJ drove a minivan, and actually my wife was talking to OJ 2 days ago, and he's like, are you still driving the minivan? He's like, no, I got a Ford F-150. OJ, you'll love this one. His rookie year, he did a Lime scooter everything because he wanted to save all his money because he didn't know if he was going to be there the next year. Ezra Cleveland was not driving a minivan.
That's funny. I do want to hear just the opening statement real quick from Spencer Danielson, and then I want to get your guys' final thoughts as we look ahead. But let's hear. Can we hear from Spencer? Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Let's hear briefly Spencer Danielson. Let's see where we're at here. Spencer, I hope this is Spencer. Who is? Oh, it's not Spencer. Which number is Spencer? Let's see who I'm putting here. Is this Madsen? Madsen was longer than Spencer, according to this. Let's find the biggest file here. Sorry, guys, I'm doing this on the fly. Give me one more thought here, Brad, on the game while I look this up here.
I'll give my final thoughts now.
All right, give me your
I
final.
like it, Rick.
Yeah,
I actually want to go to the comments.
we actually again, great atmosphere in the stadium. It was packed. The orange out was really cool. I thought that was, a huge deal. Very easy to show up and play hard, and everything when everything's there. But you guys,
There's a comment. There's a comment.
You don't even know. Like, I have to watch it. I have to watch
minivans are dope.
It's probably OJ.
Dude, shout out.
Anyway, but no, great atmosphere, fast start. We were better than they were, and we got after them.
Yeah, it's not.
And everyone wants to nitpick on whatever. There's going to be something on every game, and I said in the pregame deal, like, Utah State's going to make some plays. Like, they got some dudes, they got some good coaches, they got a little different scheme, and it was. I thought our guys handled it well and got off to a fast start. And then, they hit a few plays.
Another 37,000, the fifth largest crowd, which, it's just something about when it's dark, it just feels different, but it still felt good. It was loud tonight,
Absolutely.
but it didn't feel to me quite as good as last week, but that was just because it wasn't dark, but it was an orange out. The crowd was loud and into it. And there were more that left at half.
Dark.
Yeah.
By the time
they're all
got
gone.
dark,
They did.
We were up by 30.
Somebody asked if the students stayed. Now, if I was a student, once Ashton Jeanty was out, I'm out. I get it.
There's a lot of training
Students,
parties.
I would say this: students stayed for a while.
Yeah, they
And
stayed
then-
through the half.
Yeah,
because we saw them. They stayed through the half. I would agree with you, Rid. I think this is a very good football game on terms of leadership. Understanding you're a 4-touchdown favorite, start fast and all that. I would say that their one guy that had to get yards for Utah State got yards. But that's not surprising to me. I understand what Utah State does offensively. And I think when you come out and you shut them down to a point of that half, it was big, right? So
49-17, I believe, at the half.
It had a lot to do with even the first couple drives.
There's no doubt.
Yeah.
You start fast. I think the defense did a great job. We said no adjustments. Guys, I hate to tell you this. When it's that way at half, it's working. So let's not change it.
Oh, I saw the coaches, I think, come up the elevator to go back to the box faster with more time still left in halftime than I've ever seen. It was like they didn't have much to say in the locker room after that one.
I was giving some knuckles. I was giving some. I saw a couple of guys.
I'm like in there, seeing if they have brownies or whatever in the media room. There's still 10 minutes left in halftime, and there goes Dirk Cutter and the coaches running by to the box. I was like,
what are we gonna do? Because remember, you got to still go to the kids, and all of a sudden, no, we're gonna do all these halftime adjustments. The kids are not dumb. They're gonna go, Coach, it's 47-10. Like, why are we doing this? That's the way it is. It's 47. Why make adjustments? It's 47-10. Now, they ended up getting 30, right? So they scored 20 points in the second half. Well, that's a lot of kids, young kids that are going to be the future of Boise State. They're just making first-time mistakes.
Well,
and you want them to make those mistakes.
And even that, or how much of it was like Utah State adjusted to what Boise State was doing, and Boise State was like, yeah, whatever.
I do want to hear from Spencer, but can we talk about Madsen again for a minute?
I'd love to.
Because I want to go over his season stats for you guys right here. Because
Just
first
get
of
an
all,
email?
Tonight, no, I have it in my story. That was the one nice thing about the half. I already have most of my story already done. I wrote the whole third quarter. I got 700 words done. I'm going to go home and not know what to do. All right, so Madsen. Well, my kids are staying at my mother-in-law's house tonight, so shout out mother-in-law. So if you guys want to go back up and have another cold one after this, I'm not in a hurry to leave. But, okay, Madsen, 21 of 25, 256 yards, ties a career high with 3 touchdowns. For the season, again, on a team that is a run-first team,
sure,
a team that is 4-1, ranked in the top 20 probably tomorrow morning, He's now up to 62.9% completion percentage, 10 touchdowns to 2 interceptions, 1,056 yards, which is 211 per game, and he's only been sacked 2 times. Again, those aren't the gaudy whatever, but those are very solid numbers.
Let's fire in the rushing statistics.
Oh, for Boise State?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, tonight they rushed for about 300 yards, 296.
Okay, so yeah, I'm just saying.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, why?
So we're really efficient on offense and blah, blah, blah.
I don't think anybody, unless you're, and again, I like Malachi Nelson. I think he has a bright future at some point.
I do too.
I like his dad. I like his family, but I don't think any, Boise State fan looking at this with an even look, a realist fan could argue for Malachi Nelson at this point over Maddox Madsen. Well, there's probably somebody out there, but I think Maddox Madsen proved tonight, again, 21 of 25, that he is. And again, I hate to say it, but Malachi kind of proved it too. Came in through a pick, got sacked. Like, there's a reason he's not playing. And I hate to say that.
That's a tough situation to come into. But I want to tell you this. All of a sudden, Dirk Cutter trusted his quarterback when they come out and says, okay, they're playing man. We're going to man routes. We're taking this thing over. And he drove him down and he scored a touchdown. He can do things that he hasn't shown the opportunity to do because he said it in the press conference. He said, we are a run-first offense, us, Navy, and Air Force or Army, whatever it is.
Which was
awesome, right? But we talked about how do you stop Jeanty? Well, Utah State's answer was playing man. Now they've proven don't play man. If you play man, we have a good enough quarterback that we trust that we will dice you.
I'm just going to leave it at this. Like, how about we just trust Dirk, who knows more offensive football
than us two combined.
Sky Ship says, why can't we just appreciate Maddox and Malachi? Very lucky to have both on the roster.
I like him.
Sky,
I'll buy you a beer.
That might be
the comment of the night.
Yeah, Sky, beer's on me. Beer's on
Jesus
me.
Criminy.
What I know we mentioned earlier though, but to get Prince Strong going a little bit, 4 catches for him, to get 2 touchdowns for Austin Bolt. Like, how big was it to get some of these receivers going tonight?
I'd love to see AB getting in the end zone.
They have multiple,
awesome,
but they've had multiple opportunities now because that's okay.
Yeah,
Dirk Cutter said this. There's only one ball. And it depends on the progression of who gets the ball. They played man, some routes. Those routes now went to different players. And that's what everything that everybody was not complaining, that's not fair. Anybody was saying, well, what about this? What about the passing game? Was proven tonight, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Again, now I'll say it again, against a below average defense. I believe I said ass.
My mother-in-law just texted me, got the shout out, be safe. So she's still watching. So Melanie, appreciate you for helping out and taking the boys tonight. But
very sweet. We met her before the game.
Oh yeah, just randomly, very, very randomly.
And Larry Bolt.
That was at the same time. Yeah, Larry Bolt walks up and then great for Austin. 2 touchdowns. That was cool to see.
Fired up to see Austin have some success, and
it's just been so weird that him and Prince
actually had Austin's had success over the past, but to see him fitting into the offense,
they both came in this year as projected starters and a lot of hype. Myself probably fueling that in practice. They were just dominating in practice. They were just dominating in practice. Strawn and Bolt both had great fall camps, and then for whatever reason, I mean, they came into this game, I think, combined for 5 catches on the season or something. But hopefully this is the game that kind of gets them going.
Ball's going.
You want me to do it for you?
Yeah. So every ball he doesn't touch is a chance for him not to go 70 yards.
Fact. So any worry with Hawaii next week?
Yeah, I mean, there's always a worry, as a coach. Do I think these guys are going to conquer that? Yeah, I absolutely do. I think they're going to kick their ass.
Brad, Jesse wants me to ask you about the corners and your thoughts on DeMario Warren. We talked earlier with the passing yards, but are you seeing anything in particular from the corners in terms of, or schematically, what are you seeing in terms of the passing? Some of these teams racking up passing yards against them.
I'll start with the positive is our corners Boise State corners can tackle. That's the other one, because if you're playing off, which they're in a little 3, if you're playing off, they throw some now routes, right? Number 1 had some now routes. They tackled well. But I would say in terms of man, if they're playing man and things like that, I think you got to be a little cautious about the elite receivers in this conference. And number one, in my opinion, is an elite receiver in this conference where maybe you need to get a corner some help and things like that. And find who's your one corner.
Nobody tackles. I mean, that's like watching an NFL game and being like, they threw a now route to, I don't know, whoever.
Right. Bob Mitchell says the crossing routes seem to kill us. You see anything with the crossing routes?
That's another man thing. I mean, if it's man, you're going to possibly get – who knows who set the pick and the depth of the mesh and things like that. Or if they're playing zone, who passed off, who didn't. I didn't see anything.
As an offensive coach, I would say if they're man, they should never cover us when we're running.
No, ever. Set the pick and go on.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna play Spencer. I'm gonna let
Did
you guys.
Kansas win?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pick 6, by the way, for Cam Ward. Now 28-10 for Cal over Miami.
Wow.
28-10.
J-Dub.
Hey,
Justin Wilcox.
Any final thoughts here, you guys?
Shout out to Barry. I hope Barry's having a phenomenal time. He's been up doing Barry from the James. Been up since 6:30 a.m. Let me rephrase
that was a pretty cool scene at game day.
Let me rephrase that. Been at, involved with game day since 6:30.
Good for Justin Wilcox. That's a big win for them.
Justin is awesome.
I mean, it's not over yet, but
phenomenal.
Yeah, you're cursing him. Yeah. Keep saying Kansas, all that stuff. Kansas is going to win.
Well, I just got this stat here. The percentage of Kansas winning these games: Illinois 80%, UNLV 90.7, West Virginia 91, TCU 76, Arizona State 74. At each individual high point, the odds of going 0-5 in those games is 0.0001%, and yet they lost all 5. So it is what it is. All right, appreciate you guys. Thanks a lot.
Kansas is ass.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Can't like most of the other previous 15 years I've been. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for your time.
Back.
Yes, they might. Let's hear it from Spencer Danielson, and then I'll wrap it up. We're going to let these guys roll. Thank you to Kent and Brad. Here is Spencer Danielson after the win.
Appreciate you guys as always being here. First off, thank you, Jesus, for the victory. Give him all the glory. Proud of our team. They do not run from hard work. We knew Utah State was going to come ready to play, know their staff, know they had the talent to come in here and battle, and they did. But I'm proud of our team. And like I said, they don't run from hard work. They're a team that loves each other, and it shows on the field. Just like anything, when we watch the film tomorrow and go through with our players on Monday, it's going to be what did we learn, where are we growing to? And the biggest game of our season is going to be Hawaii because it's the next one, and that's how we continue to learn and grow. I'm proud of our team, man. A lot of guys stepped up tonight. You can see our leadership continue to step up and push, and a lot to learn and grow from. And you have to learn and grow from the wins. The best teams learn and grow even when they win, and we need to do that. So a couple shout outs. I thought Madsen played his best game all season, especially last week, was inconsistent. And now coming up and having one of the best games he's had all season, that's a testament to the competitor he is. Was able to get the ball to a lot of different receivers, which is huge. Austin Bolt had 2 touchdowns. Prince had a couple big catches. Chase Penry, I think, at close to 70 yards. Cam Camper continues to be a matchup issue for defenses. And we were able to get a bunch of different guys the ball, which is a testament to Maddox and throws and the reads. Shout out to a couple guys in our defense, man. First off, Herbert Gums is a senior D tackle that doesn't get a lot of credit because he's taken double teams, sometimes triple teams for other guys to make tackles. So, I think the world of Herbert Gums. He played one of his best games tonight. And no different. Defensively, we did some good things. There was a lot of meat on the bone that we did not achieve tonight. And a lot of the plays that were explosive, we just got to make a tackle. If we're in post defense, we got to make sure we have a post player. Like, some of those things are fixable, and we need to. And we have the guys to do it. But I'm proud of how our team went out there and battled. We were able to get a takeaway on defense. We had a couple 4th down stops, but still a lot of things that we need to improve on, and we will. And then the special teams side of things, like we knew that we wanted to change the game on special teams. We've had the game changed against us. And so for our kickoff return unit and Dylan Wright to go out there and score that 96-yard touchdown was a huge play in the game. Testament to Coach Collins, play design, and Dylan Riley. There was a hole, and he took it the distance. And especially Jonah Damas. A senior, a captain, does everything you want as a Boise State Bronco football player. And now he's, I think, the leading, has the most points ever scored by a Bronco and a couple different stats. He deserves all of that because not only what he does on the field, who he is as a teammate. So proud of our team. Proud of the win. We protected the blue. We put a paramount on that, and excited to keep learning and growing.
more than 400 yards of total offense by guys not named Ashton Jeanty today. Just how well did you like the way you guys were able to move the ball?
Yeah, I mean, first off, Ashton Jeanty, best player in the country. Next question. And I'm proud of all the rest of our guys being able to step up. I thought Madsen played his best game. I mean, when they're going to load the box like you have to, he was able to get the ball to playmakers, and our guys executed, and we're very efficient on offense, which is a big deal.
You guys are on track for the most yards per game in school history. Again, Ashton's a big reason, but what else is it about this team that is making it so special?
Yeah, it's a team that loves each other, and there's no egos in our offense or on our team, and we're always looking for those. It's not about how many times am I getting the ball, what are you doing for me? It's what does the team need, and that's the group we got, especially when it's led by a guy like Ashton Jeanty, best player in the country. Whenever me and him meet, it's never about him. It's about the team. Coach, how can I help this young man grow? How can we be better in this phase? He was waiting for me on Tuesday practice to see if he can get on more special teams because Ashton loves his team. When you're led by a guy like that and there's multiple leaders that are that way, you always got a shot. And when guys step up and they say, hey, when my number's called and my team needs me to execute, I need to because it's for my family, it's for my brothers. You always got a shot when you got leaders that do that.
Are you going to allow him to play special teams?
Oh, we're always evaluating. Let me tell you that. Always evaluating.
Hey, Spencer, what type of responsibility do you have to take care of Ashton? Because this is the second time in the last couple of games where you guys get up and you don't play him the second time.
Have to. I mean, it's a huge part of my job with our whole team. And we are a developmental program. So when we get in situations, we got to make sure we play our team because the only way to develop is to play this game, especially in game atmosphere situations, because that's when you really can evaluate where is this young man. Okay, he's been having a good week in practice. All right, put him in the game. Put him in the game. See how he responds when the crowd's cheering, the lights are flashing. Like, how is he going to act in those biggest moments? You only know that when you put him in. So, especially protecting Ash, which you have to. He's the best player in the country. But we also got to make sure we get other guys reps to get them better, to have them grow, because we need to. It's a long season. And we got to keep growing week to week. And so at all positions, O and D, I'm always looking to see when can we continue to get guys in the game. That I've earned it in practice. We're not giving any free lunches, but it's making sure if guys are in practice, we got to get them in the game. We got to get them reps. So then it's easy for us to evaluate the staff on guys that deserve more or guys that, hey, we gave you opportunity. We got to find someone else that can do a better job. Big time. Proud of Austin, man. I think he had one of his better weeks of practice, and it shows. And it shows. He's go out there able to get 2 touchdowns. I'm excited for him to continue to improve because we need him to. And I thought Prince, Chase, I mean, they played well. And now we need to build on that. How can we have our best week of practice to play our best game against Hawaii? So that's always what it is for me. It's all process. What do we learn and where are we growing? And it's about the team. Not what can you do for me? It's about the team. And we put a premium on practice performance. And guys that played really well tonight, they played really dang well in practice. Guys that didn't, struggled in practice. It's all about practice performance equals game reality.
I know you always prioritize team success over individual stats, but how tough is it to pull him given, what he's chasing?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about the team. And Ashton is the same way. I mean, we protect him. We're going to be smart with Ashton because of how vital he is to our team. And we need to make sure we get other guys reps in there. But I also, at that point, I don't know what his rush yards were, but we know he had enough. And we're not chasing us as a team, us being successful, Ashton being successful. We are aligned on the same thing. I believe that he's going to be in New York for the Heisman. I believe that because I see him work, because I see the teammate he is. This isn't a flash in the pan, I wonder what's going to happen. In January, when the snow on the ground, Ashton Jeanty's the first one out there working. So what everybody sees now, Ashton Jeanty, I've seen him work. I've seen the teammate he is. So it's going to continue to be that. He's the best player in the country because he's earned it. And so all these things about him he deserves, and we got to be smart, especially when we're up in a game. We got to get other guys reps, and that's how we develop those other guys as well.
Yeah, Spencer, obviously a lot of talk about Ashton so far, but how much of his success is due to, the blockers, that offensive line, the receivers, and all the other people, on that unit?
This is the biggest team game in the country, in the world. And not one person can win a game, not one person can lose your game. And it's all about how everyone's helping each other to achieve a common goal. No different for Ashton. I mean, that offensive line, those tight ends, our receivers, they're blocking their tail off because that's exactly what the team needs. No different when it's high-half pass and Ashton needs to block a D end to protect Maddox to make a throw. It's the team.
How much does Ashton open the playbook? Just with, teams are so concentrated on him and, maybe leave other guys a little bit less protected.
Can you ask that one more time?
Yeah. Just how much does Ashton open the playbook for you guys? Because
open the playbook?
Yeah.
I mean, Ashton can do it all. I mean, we can line him up at empty. He could be one of our best receivers. He obviously knows all protection. I mean, he's one of the smartest football players that have been around. One, because that's who he is. Two, because he works at it. And that's our team. I mean, that's what we do at Boise State. Is we want guys that love football, live in that film room. Mandatory meetings, absolutely. But the amount of times that these guys live in this film room when there's no mandatory meetings, they're in there to learn, grow, that is the standard here. And Ashton continues to push it.
Breezy had to be so patient this year to finally get an opportunity. What do you think about Ashton? He played tonight.
I'm proud of Breezy, man. You talk about a great teammate. I mean, getting banged up in fall camp, dealing with a hamstring, continue to battle, seeing Sire Gaines, Dylan Riley have their time. I mean, I never once saw Breezy pout, never once saw him think, woe is me. He was a great teammate and kept working, living in the training room, finding time to when his number get called, he was ready, and he was ready tonight. And he's going to continue to be a guy that we lean on, especially to give Ashton a spell. But, I mean, Breezy's got some juice to him now. I mean, you give him some daylight, he could take that the distance as well. So being able to get him in the end zone, how he played, I'm proud of Breezy.
What's your guys' best offensive showing? I mean, you look at it, and I mean, Maddox is extremely effective. 10 different guys caught balls tonight. Over half those guys had multiple catches in terms of spreading it around. Best offensive?
I think it was to date, absolutely. In regards to this year, absolutely it was. And I'm proud of all the guys that touched the ball. I think we're very efficient. But just like anyone, we watch the film, there's still going to be a lot of things that I know Coach Cutter and our offensive staff are excited for us to learn and grow in. And we will, and we have to. It's all about how are we getting better week to week. It's not about, and I get it, the media and everything's about months from now. They have to do that. For me, it is right now. What is our biggest opponent is Hawaii. That travel, what we got to do, because that's the next opponent. But I'm so proud of our offense and how they were able to execute. I'm excited for us to continue to learn and grow, and we put on full display how explosive we can be. Everybody knows about Ashton. He deserves all the credit he's getting, but you see the amount of weapons we have on offense to be able to attack a defense.
Maddox takes that hit on that second drive, gets evaluated, cleared, and comes back and just leads them right back down for a touchdown. Just what can you say about his toughness tonight? I mean,
Madsen is one of the best competitors I've ever been around. That's a testament to who he is. Like I said, no different. The games or throws or plays that maybe he didn't do well, there's no one harder on himself than him. And that's where I am in his life to say, hey, move on. Because he wants to be successful, has a burning desire to be elite, and he played great tonight. And no different. Got hit, got pulled for a play, had to get evaluated. The next drive was on point, throwing straight darts. And that's who he is as a competitor.
How did Dylan Riley earn the opportunity to be a kick returner? And what do you think of that kick return touchdown?
In practice. Everything for us is what you do in practice. Practice performance. We kick balls to returners who can field them, who understands where the daylight might be, and he did a great job in practice. And what he did tonight, I promise you, he's going to be doing a lot more of it.
Jonah Dalmas obviously started his career here as a walk-on. He earned a scholarship and is now a Mountain West career record holder. How does his story help you in recruiting, and how does it represent what Boise State is about?
Yeah, Jonah Dalmas is similar to a bunch of players on our team. He's another testament to the culture here. And that has nothing to do with me. That's inbred in this place, what it is for decades, about guys that have maybe been counted out, have a chip on their shoulder. They want to just go earn it and prove everybody wrong. That's Jonah Dalmas. Came here as a walk-on, earned the right to be on scholarship, and now he's a Mountain West record holder, and he deserves all the credit he's getting because that young man works and he loves his team.
Spence, late in the game, you took starters out, but then there was kind of that low red zone opportunity. This Breezy's rushing touchdown. I think you kept a lot of the starters back in, including Max. What did you do that?
Yeah, we had to make sure that we were efficient in that drive, Jay, to make sure we punched it in. I mean, like I said, we're giving up explosive plays on defense, something we have to fix. And in that situation, it was like, hey, guys, we got to make sure we score here. We're not letting this thing get out of hand. And so that was a move. You don't want to have to do those things, but we had to make sure we kept the score where it was.
Is Jalen Royals just a really good football player? What do you guys feel like you need to?
All right, we bring you back live here at the James Kitchen Bar. They tried to end it. They tried to kick us out. I said, no, we're going to keep this show going as long as we need to here. So you heard from Spencer Danielson. We're going to hear from Maddox Madsen as well. Might as well keep this thing rolling. Why not, right? We had nowhere to go. We let Kent and Brad go, but we can keep this thing going for a little bit longer. So, again, shout out our studio sponsor, the Horseshoe Collective, the Horseshoe Golden Ale. Make sure you pick up a Horseshoe Golden Ale right here at the James Kitchen and Bar. You can get it inside the stadium Stadium as well. Make sure you get that Orange Chaos Seltzer as well. And again, our title sponsor, ropaint.com, roepaint.com. All your painting needs, make sure you hit up our title sponsor, ropaint.com. Again, 62-30. Boise State wins this one over Utah State. I know Ashton Jeanty's getting a lot of talk, a lot of pub, but how about what Madsen did tonight? 21 of 25, 256 yards, 3 touchdowns, one of the best game of the seasons for Madsen. One of the best games of the career for Madsen. Again, 21 of 25, 256 yards, and 3 touchdowns for Madsen. Let's hear from Boise State's starting quarterback, Madsen, after the win.
It's a cool hat. That's the only questions for Madsen.
Almost 600 yards of offense today. Just how well do you think the offense was running?
Yeah, I mean, I thought we did a really good job of just playing as a whole unit in general, being able to run the ball and throw the ball at a high level, and it showed. I mean, I think up front it starts with those guys, and they were awesome. They're extremely awesome. And then when you give Ashton space to make plays, he's obviously going to do it. So it was cool to see get other guys in the mix for sure.
For you, I think that the word Spencer Dirt, they said last week maybe you were a little inconsistent. Right? You go 21 to 25 for over 250 yards and 3 touchdowns. So what seemed to work for you tonight, Maddox?
Yeah, I mean, obviously last week I wasn't happy with myself after that game, and we won. It was a big win. So as a team win, I was like, oh, that's awesome. Coming in this week, I mean, just relying on those guys to make plays, and so I felt like putting trust and faith into what we do in the week of training when it comes to that aspect, and then seeing those guys make plays. It was helpful to have those guys around me for sure.
They were kind of implied that maybe you were kind of aiming the ball top. So that kind of suggests like something's going on up top, right? So like, you didn't really seem like that was an issue for you tonight.
Yeah, I mean, when things are going good, it's going to continue going good, and so let's find that fine line of when things are going bad, how can we completely flip the script and make things go well. So, I mean, when you're playing with confidence, it's a lot better when you're not, right? So that's how I kind of put myself in tonight. It was just a lot of confidence.
Just with all the attention Ashton gets from opposing defenses, and everyone knows how dangerous he is. Do you think that maybe opens up other players? They might have a little bit more space or time or whatever, and you think that helps the offense?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, if you try and stack the box and stop Ashton Jeanty, there's going to be plays to be made outside with those guys. Obviously, going into every week, I'm sure every team's game plan is how can we stop number 2, because he's the most elusive running back in the country, and he does things that normal people don't. So, yeah, I think 100% it opens up a whole new aspect of offense when people are just trying to key on Ashton.
What's it like when you step out there and you hand it off from the first play, and how's it from 64 in front of sold out crowd again? I mean, he just never seems to disappoint from the jump.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, Ash is just one of those guys that's completely humble about his going, and so when that happens, it's just like, it's awesome to watch myself just, hey, yeah, go run down the field and score a touchdown on the first play of the game. I thought it was awesome, and I think everyone else thought it was awesome. It's kind of sending them like a note to the fans, like, hey, we want to show you guys what you're here for. All 37,000 of you that are here supporting us, we're going to show you guys what you're here for.
After getting knocked out on the second drive, going and having to get evaluated, to come back and go 4 for 4 on that next drive and have it throw a touchdown pass, how much did that fire you up for the rest of the game?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get the whole thing, like why they were taking me off. I guess it was like a medical timeout, so I had to miss a play. So obviously I didn't really get that. I was kind of like very confused, but I was fine. I was completely fine, and so going back out there was just how can we make the next play, the one that's the most important.
So there's never any concern on your end?
No, yeah, I was completely good. I was fine.
What was the process like? You're going to 10. Like, what did you have to do to improve your play?
I guess that was kind of it. I still am kind of lost, but I did just have to go in 10, kind of ask me some questions, and I was fine. But it was just very simple, different thing I've never experienced before. So.
The joys of being a quarterback, I'm assuming, is targeting the right guys a certain amount. 10 different guys caught a pass today. How much joy does that bring you as a quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, I can say I probably have faith in all of those guys that are going to make plays for me, and it shows. I mean, there's times where guys aren't getting the ball that probably should be getting the ball, and there's on the different side of it. We have a lot of playmakers in this building. I don't think anyone really kind of understands that. We've probably got 12 guys that can go and make a play tomorrow. So it's cool to see those guys get rewarded for all their hard work that they're doing.
How about Austin getting a couple of touchdowns tonight?
Yeah, that's big time. I love my man Bolt. He's a stud, and so seeing his smile on his face and a little dance was awesome. It was cool for sure.
I think a lot of people were waiting for Prince to have a game like this. You know, just what was it? What were you seeing from him tonight to get him the ball?
Yeah, I mean Prince, he goes about his business weekly. I mean, it was good to see him make plays and kind of get the ball and move a little bit. Prince works hard. He works extremely hard, and so it was cool to see him get rewarded for what he does.
Jonah Dama set the Mountain West career record for field goals scored tonight. He's obviously a little older than you. Stepping into this program, how has he kind of shown you what Boise State is all about?
Yeah, I mean, fun fact, Jonah actually was direct messaging me on Instagram before I was here. So it was cool to have Jonah kind of be like a guy I look forward to, walk in the building, be like, oh, I know that guy, and sit and talk to. And Jonah he basically, like, if you had to put Boise State in, like, a prime example of that, I think Jonah's one of those guys that can go right there. Obviously, in the position that he's in, it's a little tough to, like, have a whole team kind of get behind you, but he does. He has our whole team, like, completely full trust. I mean, that guy is legit. He's one of the best in the nation, so, I mean, he's really good at what he does, and I think he's also good at being a leader for the position he's in and getting guys to come around him and make plays for him.
With Cam, you obviously are developing quite a rapport with him. How much does he kind of continue to settle into a new environment and seem to kind of come out of a shell a little bit at times too?
Yeah, I mean, he's getting extremely close with all these guys in the building, and it's kind of cool to see. I mean, like I've mentioned before, I was able to get close with Cam, and it's cool to see him kind of branch out and get close with other people. And obviously, he's continuing to make plays, and a lot of people are trusting what he can do, and he's a legit playmaker for us.
Spencer telling us a little bit about Latrell, how they viewed him as doubtful earlier in the week, and he lived in the training room. What did you see out of Latrell Cables and his determination to get back and play?
Yeah, I mean, just Latrell is another guy I could put Jonah, a prime example of what it means to be blue collar at Boise State. And just seeing his work and what he does daily, it shows. I mean, this guy could barely lift his arm, and all of a sudden he's playing. It's cool to see Latrell do that. I think a big part of Latrell, too, is he has a different mindset than others. Like, he's battled adversity, the toughest, in my opinion, that you could ever battle. And so he understands what it's like to be hurt and injured and kind of compete. Like, he's not missing football games because he wants to. He's going to try and play whether he's 85%, 75%, or 100%. He's going to play with, like, all his heart and all of his mind and go give all that he has for the team.
You look up and you see 62.
All right. We are back here live at the James Kitchen and Bar. Again, they can't kick us out. They're trying to shut this place down. We're not leaving. The lights are turning off, but we got some fans here that wanted to ask a question. Kent Riddle is still here, so we may need Kent's reaction to the answer here. But, all right, go ahead, guys. You had a debate or a question you wanted to ask.
EJ's idea, I will ask. This year specifically, would you rather see a Boise State player in Ashton Jeanty win the Heisman, or would you rather Boise State win a college football playoff game?
Not just get there, win. Not just get there.
Win that 5 versus 12 or that 6 versus 11 game, or number 2, win the Heisman.
Win the game.
I agree. That's how I feel.
All right.
Now there's been disagreement all night after asking that question.
If you would have said just get to the CFP, I think you could make an argument for the Heisman. But if you're saying win a CFP game,
Win.
I think you got to take a CFP win.
My thing is, I've seen the BCS win. I've seen big time wins. We're going to be back into the playoff. I don't know that we're going to be back into a Heisman winning player as consistently as we will be in the playoff. We will see a playoff win after this year. I don't know that we'll see a Heisman winner after this year. And I want something that's never happened here before.
And I would agree with that. I think from a long-term perspective, this is a once in a generation type thing, a chance to win the Heisman. And I do agree with you on that. But if you could say you could win a game that puts you in the Final Four, or maybe I don't know which round you're playing in, but that's tough, man. That's tough. We got someone saying playoff game, somebody saying college football playoff game easily. They're saying Jeanty probably wants the playoff game over the Heisman.
It's team first. He's a team first guy.
I might lean Heisman, to be honest with you. I might lean Heisman just from the sole reason that, as you said, it's not going to when is the next time realistically that Boise State would have a Heisman winner? And what could a Heisman winner do for recruiting and things like that moving forward?
I want to see Jeanty score 3 touchdowns, run for 250, win that playoff game, and get that instead of something else in a Heisman win for me. Like, let's see him take the team as far as possible. If there's a Heisman as a part of that, that's amazing. He's going to New York. That's how I feel on it. But I don't know. We've gotten a little bit of both. Like there's been a little bit of left, a little bit of right. It's been a conversation starter.
Brand Teton says winning a game in the CFP would do much more for the school as a whole than a Heisman winner.
I feel the same way.
I agree. But we're going to be back into this. We're going to be back into the CFP. We'll win a game next year. We'll get. It's this year's.
I appreciate the people going team first. Man, I have an absolutely sunburnt forehead after today. I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate everybody going team first in the comments. And
Skylar says legacy lives forever. How about doing both?
Talk to me nice. I like that. Skylar, that's the all right.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks a lot, guys. Good to see you. Some avid BSU BNN fans there, and nice debate. Very interesting. So what'll happen there? Very interesting debate in terms of the Heisman or the CFP. Again, thank you to all of our sponsors. Thank you to Jaden Finch. Jaden, lean in here and say, where's Jaden at? There he is. Look at Jaden. Been a long day for everybody, but Jaden's going strong still. We appreciate Jaden. Give Jaden some love, doing a heck of a job, and he's underpaid. So let's get a few more subscribers, and I can give this guy another raise. So help us out. Again, I'm going to go home and write a story, and we'll you can read that at BroncoNationNews.com if you're a subscriber. I cannot wait to go check all these scores and check all these highlights, all the games we've missed. Pretty crazy what's happened throughout the day in the last couple hours with some of these upsets and stuff. So give us a like on the video. I think it's right over here somewhere. There's a like button. If you can hit that, we would really appreciate it. Subscribe to our channel as well. Thank you guys so much. We're an hour and 53 minutes on the post-game show. The full interviews are either up or will be up right shortly. Jaden, Spencer, who else did we get? Jonah Dalmas. And Andrew Simpson also will be up there or are up there already. So, again, support the sponsors. Hope you guys enjoyed a couple Horseshoe Golden Ales tonight. Western Collective, our studio sponsor. I highly recommend the Horseshoe Golden Ale. It was nice to sip on one during the show tonight. But, again, Monday morning, Mike Prater and I will break this all down. I'm going to head home, finish up my story. If you want to read about Ashton Jeanty, Madsen, another big win, I'll have that available for subscribers when you wake up tomorrow morning. So, appreciate all you guys. Thanks so much. Thanks to Brad Bedell, Kent Riddle. Thanks to everyone at the James for allowing us to hang out here tonight as well. And phenomenal staff at the James. We're very appreciative. Here comes the fine folks at the James right now.
Hello. Thank you so much for joining us at the James. And thanks, BJ, for everything he does.
Couldn't have said it better myself there. No, we appreciate the James and everybody for having us here, and it's been a lot of fun. So Monday morning, Mike Prater and I will be back at 9 a.m. We'll see tomorrow where the rankings are, how high Boise State moves up. And again, you can read my story when you wake up as well. So BNN 50 deals, that promo code. We'd love to have you subscribe. $50, you get a full year of coverage. I think Bronco Nation News might be the only media outlet heading to Hawaii next week. Good job, Anthony. I was going to put you on, but you dipped out. Come on, here's one of the best in the business.
Hey, Anthony here at the James, best spot in town.
Check his, what was the award you won? You were holding up the award. You know, I'm sure it's famous.
Boise Rose Award, best of 23.
Best server in the valley right here, and the rest of the servers are 1A right behind them. It's a great spot. We love the James. Appreciate everybody. And again, we'll see where Boise State rises in the rankings tomorrow. That'll be out around noon. Going to watch some football tomorrow on NFL style. So appreciate you guys. And again, go subscribe if you can. $50 BNN 50 deal. It adds up all the costs and things. We're the only outlet I think going to Hawaii. We're the only outlet I know going to the Cayman Islands for the basketball tournament. We'll be at every football game, as many basketball games as we can, and it's all because of your support and your $50 subscription. So it means a lot, and we'd really appreciate it if you can help us out. $50 BNN 50 deals, the coupon code. It takes $20 off your first year. But if you can't afford it, I get it. I understand it. At a minimum, make sure you're following us on social media, like right here on YouTube. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button on YouTube, and help us get over 6,000 subscribers here moving forward. So appreciate it. Have a safe, healthy rest of your night, and we'll talk to you at 9 a.m. on Monday. Again, the final score is 62-30. Boise State likely to be in the top 20 tomorrow. The Ashton Jeanty Heisman campaign rolls on. Madsen, a big game as well. Congrats, Boise State fans. I toast to you guys. A fun night. Big win for your Broncos, and we're going to keep following this team every step of the way on Bronco Nation News. So, Mike Prater and I'll talk to you Monday. Have a good weekend. Thanks, guys. Take care. Bronco Nation News, live from the James Kitchen and Bar in downtown Boise from the Western Collective Studios. Thanks again to our title sponsor, rowpaint.com. We'll talk to you later. Bronco Nation News live, bronconationnews.com.
Bronco Nation News is presented by rowpaint.com, Idaho Central Credit Union, Taco Bell, by Lithia Ford, The Blue and Orange Store, Western Collective, by Jackson's, Snake River Pool and Spa, Transportation Compliance Service, Bauscher Real Estate, Ridley's Family Markets, by Circa Las Vegas, Lean Feast, and by Timberstone Golf Course.